is called vulnerability. So now to perform the vulnerability testing or scanning, so we usually do the vulnerability scanning. So why? Because we need to how to do this particular vulnerability scanning or vulnerability testing. So there are different type of attacks we do have it. So which is like a SQL injection, HTML injection. So OSAP top 10 attacks would be there. So how we can escape? These are all vulnerabilities, right? So now OSAP top 10, whatever they have been given. So these are the top 10 vulnerabilities for any particular application. So how to escape from these particular applications is we need to manually perform that one. But to know that one, it takes it needs the mastery on doing, hey, how to do the XSS attack, or how to identify the sensitive logs information. So these all things will be there, right? So that we didn't went into the details of this one, because as we discussed, so here we just wanted to know what are the different type of testings at a high level, and then we wanted to show you an eagle view of what how we perform the security testing. But we didn't went to the details that, so how we do the SQL injection or HTML injection or brute force or XSS or cross-site scripting. So we didn't went to these all things. Just we wanted to know that these are vulnerability things, and for doing this one, we can do the scanning. So for doing this particular scanning, so we do have certain tools like burp suit, Akinetics, WhatsApp, so intruder. So these are the certain set of tools which it can help to do this particular scanning. So now with this particular scanning, it can assess all the vulnerabilities, may not. So just it can be try to accompany the particular WhatsApp top 10 vulnerabilities. This particular tools can do for this one. So we have vulnerability scanning and then PTs. So PT is nothing but the penetration testing. So the penetration testing are white hat hackers, means they will perform the same these particular attacks into the system, and then they will try to see on this. So now apart from this one, so what we have discussed is we have been discussed with certain examples what you meant by SQL injections or these things, and how these are manually performed in your system. So you need to manually perform that one into your system to know how this security testing and these things would be performed. So those are the things which we wanted to we have been discussed over here. And then we have been discussed about authorization testing, authentication testing. So these are the different category of the things which we have been discussed as part of security testing. And once again, I'm saying it, so we didn't went into the details of this one because it's a huge, so we can't cover the things in within our. So at least what we have been seen is what is the importance and what are the different type of scans which we can perform on this particular security testing. So those are the things which we have been discussed, and these even we do have lot of documents around this one. So at least at a high level documents, anyways, I'm trying to share it with the performance testing. I'll try to share you good set of documents so that you can see on it. Okay. So when it comes to the documentation point of view, um, you can see here, this is the continuation. Now I'm just going to start. So how this would look like the document from the documentation point of views. I just wanted to share and show you that where are these RFP documents? And, okay, so these are the assessments and these things we'll be trying to do it. So if you see here, this is what the WhatsApp top 10 list. So now this is 2017. The latest one is 2021. So now what is this particular document will tell you is, hey, how to do these particular attacks. So now if you, for an example, now we are talking about this, right? So SQL injection or HTML injection or this broken authentication in the session management. So now these are the things we do have it, right? So how these can be achieved. So this is what we will be trying to know. And here they were saying that this graph gives us, hey, means what was it 2013, and then now what is at 2017. So what are the things it has been changed? What are the things it is merged into this? So those are the things which it will be showing in this particular diagram. And then if you see here, so these are the application attacks. So how they will perform to do this particular application attacks. And you can see it. So what do you meant by injection? See, now we have been discussed, right? SQL injections and no SQL injections, those things, broken authentication, and each and every attack basic informations they have been provided over here. Now, and apart from this one, so how to do this SQL injection now? So now if you see here, if your application is vulnerable, so how it can be achieved? So this particular SQL injection, so how they can perform. So how to do that one and how to prevent that one with an example scenarios. So this is how this particular document will be released. This is document released by the director OSAP people itself. So they have been given with all the controls and all the informations and how to do the SQL injection and how to do this all. So the basic complete information will be available in this would be available on this. So now these are the see how to how whether this particular application is vulnerable or not with this particular broken authentication. So if you wanted to know what you need to do, you need to perform that. You create scenario and then you will be testing that one. So that is how it will be created for us, and then this is where we will give say, hey, this is what the things which you need to do it, and this is what you need to make the changes for. This is are the preventive or precautionary measures you need to take it. So there are proactive and reactive steps. What do you mean by proactive and reactive steps? What do you mean by proactive? What are the proactive steps and then reactive steps? Guys, you're able to hear me? What do you mean
Yeah.
by proactive steps and the reactive steps?
Proactive means when something is going to happen, before that we are analyzing and acting accordingly. And reactives after the something happened, how we are reacting to that.
Simple. So now reactive is nothing but after that happened, then we take the steps. So that is called reactive steps. Before happening something, you take the precautionary steps. So that is proactive steps. Now here, these are the proactive steps, not the reactive steps. Reactive steps means once the hacking is done, then the people will try to fix that particular problem. So these all are the proactive steps which it will be guided over here. Now, this document will talk about, hey, how these attacks need to be performed and how these can be prevented without happening into our system. So that is how this particular document will help us to go through this one. So this is how these are the different categories of testings which we have been seen at. So every attack will have a different category of testing, and how we will try to do it. So don't try to do on your local machines, means which is in your laptops. Never try to do this. If you install any tool which is security testing tool into your system, so that particular system is completely vulnerable. Okay, be cautious. Never ever install any security testing tools. Hey, what are the tools we do have it? So you can see here there are some thousands and thousands of tools are there. So where I can see that. So if you see here now, for an example, this is we are doing it for an application testing. You can see the column number D. So you can see it, right? So Google hacking and then site digger, Shodan. Shodan is one of the popular tool to identify all your IP addresses, jumping IP addresses, or if means from where we can get these particular IP addresses and all. And then HTTP precon, HTTP print means from wherever you have. This is a tracker, so tracking of your IP addresses. So it will go back to your who given this one, and all this. Zap is an open source tool to identify all your vulnerabilities. It is like a burp suit. Burp suit is a paid one, and this is with a this is a open source tool which we have it. And then Vapalizer. So now this is Vapalizer. What it will do is it's a plugin for your Chrome browser itself. What this will try to give is, if you open any particular website, it gives you the complete information about the website. What are the technologies they have been used and how they have been used? What are the things they have been used? Means what is the front end technology, back end technology? What are the plugins they have been used? What are the plugin versions they have been used? Everything we can get it with the Vapalizer. So there are certain tools like this. So you can see it, right? See, if you wanted to perform any particular category, you can see it, right? So test the HTTP methods. For that one, we have the netcat. So to test the HTTP restricted transport security. So then we have the burp proxy, Zap, or Cull. So any of the tool we can use it over here. And if you wanted to test any particular roles and designations, so now when you wanted to do that particular roles and designations, immediately we will be having the burp proxy. See, now for testing each and every scenario, okay, you are seeing here, right? These are the scenarios. If you wanted to test these scenarios, you would be having these many tools. And these are very normal tools which we have been taken up. But if you seen it, if you wanted to test any particular complicated scenarios, those particular set of tools we have been mentioned over here. So integrity checks, ability for forgeries requests, because for an example, on behalf of us, someone will request. See, for an example, now I'm sitting in a hotel, but I didn't order that, but on behalf of me, someone given me order, but that order will reach me, or that order will go for someone else and I'll pay the bill. So those are the forgery requests. So how to test that particular forgery request? So these all things are there. So with the help of these particular set of tools, we'll be doing it. Actually, if you see here, we do perform with a different set of informations. We do the risk assessments, and we do the auditing on this one. So, and then we will be assessing that particular thing, and this will be like an assessment, like this would be like a quick interview. So we wanted to know that, hey, how the security testing is implemented in the organizations. So those are the set of requirements. What first we will do is, because we don't know anything about the organization and how they have been implemented the security testing, then we go to the each and every team and each and every member, and then we will be asking the set of questions to them. Hey, how you implemented the security testing from the development team, how you implemented from the testing team, and how you implemented from the DevOps team or from the infrastructure team. So we will ask them the each and everything, and then we will first assess them. So based upon that particular assessment, we will derive the particular roadmap for them. Hey, so if you see here, if you see, this is what the SDLC. So they will be having it, right? SDLC. When it's come to the security testing, so we'll be called them as secure SDLC. So how you perform the secure SDLC? So this is a pattern which we will try to form this one. So with each and every phase, so what are the problems we do have it and how we wanted to fix on it. See, I just wanted to show you, so how usually the organizations follow the security testing, how they will follow the security patterns, because every company will have their own security team. So they will own the complete security from the application point of view and infrastructure point of view. Both the ways they will be trying to maintain the security testing. Okay, so now when it comes to this one, so this is how they want, what are the things they wanted to change, because based upon these particular interview questions, so they will, what they will try to do is, hey, this is there and this is not there. So based upon that, we will rate them with the scores, and according to these particular scores, then we will start proceeding further with them to proceed further with, hey, these are the things which it is missing, and these are the things which we need to proceed further. So this is how we will proceed further with the security testing for them. And then they will say that, hey, we don't know about this one, so how we wanted to proceed further. Then we will give them the respective trainings for those people. Hey, so these are the topics which you need to do. Hey, what are the tools we do have it? So I told you, right? So these are the major tools which we have it. And this is what I always talk about, pen tester land. So now if you see it here, you can see the complete the list of the latest hackings or whatever the things it was happening. You will get that information. Pentester land. Now just note down this site. This will gives you the latest hacking news. So now whatever the latest thing happened, so you will be getting that newsletters over here. Um, if you see here, the blog means actually these guys are very active previously. Nowadays they have been slightly slow down, but every day they used to post and document. So now what are the things it happened? So you can see the list of things, and you can find it out what are the latest hacks happen and how it was happening it, and what are the bug hunter programs it was conducting. Means I told you, right? So any particular bug hunting means bug bounty programs are these things happening. So these people will publish into their websites. Okay, so and these are the different type of tools, and then these are the things which usually gives in the training. So when we give the training, so I used to use this particular ppts to get into that. And if you wanted the basic trainings, so the basic trainings are this. So from the it will go from the calendar saying that, hey, these are the things, these are the topics from the application security, we will take it. And then what is first we need to do it. So how we need to start? First we will start with the SAM process, threat modeling. What do you mean by threat modeling? WAF, what do you mean by WAF? STAST, API, DAST tools and all. So this would be the cycle of this one. So this is how the security testing would be initiated, and this is how the security testing would be identified, and then it would be tested. Okay, so many people who have 10 years, 15 years experiences also, they may not be exposed completely to the security testing. So they will be much more expertise or much more into from the API layer and from the UI layer, and getting to the security testing layer, it is very rare and rare opportunity for the people to get into these particular systems. Okay, so this is about this. And maybe I can't share all the documents, but WhatsApp document which is there, definitely I'll share that document with you people so that you can go through that. And this is how we have been discussed about the security testing. And then we wanted to move for the next steps, which is on the test plan. And because as we discussed about the test cases, so these test cases has been covered with PINA, and the bugs has been covered with PINA. So that's the reason I'm not touching this. I'll just go for the test plan and then further discussions on this. So before going to this one, so first I wanted to talk about the encryption techniques. What do you meant by encryption technique, or why we required this particular encryption? There is one concept in security testing which is called shoulder surfing. Shoulder surfing, surfing. Hmm. Okay, so that what you meant by shoulder surfing means, for an example, I was just trying to enter my username password. I entered Chris007 is my username, password is password 1234. Now when I'm trying to type here, someone will be sitting beside me, and whatever I'm typing, if I'm able to see with my naked eye with this particular password, so they can easily get this information, right? And usually what is a tendency we do have is, first of all, we will save all our information into the browsers. So when you save something, you'll ask, the browser will ask you save for next. You will click save for next. So all your informations would be in your cookies. So now when you go for this particular history, in this particular history, so you can see all your cookies. What do you meant by cookies? So basic informations, you should know it. So what do you meant by cookies? Example, I'll give you an huh?
History, sir. What we opened before that will shows.
That is called history. I'm asking cookies. So history is nothing but
Cookies
whatever
also.
the pages is they're opening. So this is called the history. Then cookies.
What we type in the browser,
Some
sir,
kind of
it
some kind of security or
automatically
some kind of protection.
Okay, I'll give you in a very simple example so that you can remember for a long time. I don't, this is not security or nothing, those things. You can just see that I added something into my cart. Okay, so I added some products into the cart. I added from my mobile phone, but when I open here, I'm able to see this here. Or I close this particular browser, okay, and once again, now I opened in front of you. Once again, it was saying me it's a 4 products have been added over here. See, even though I closed and I have been opened on this, how this particular 4 products are still over there. So cookies is nothing but it's a key pair value. So now if you see here, it's a key pair value. It stores the information in the browser. See, now if you open any particular website, they will ask you to store in the cookies. Why? Because cookies is like a .txt, means some small file. In this particular file, for every application, for Amazon or from Flipkart or anyone, they will maintain certain cookies. What they will try to do is, whatever the basic information which you're trying to browse it, they will keep it into this information so that you can quickly access from your cookies. Or some information you are storing, means for an example, some means the cart information which I shown you, right? So that information is storing over here. Now, as soon as you clicked your clear history, it will ask you to clear your history and cookies also. Cookies means into this particular file, it will go and then delete this particular key pair values. Means, for example, the cart information or some information which you have been stored, all those informations would be available here. When you deleted the cookies, then you lost all this particular data. This is the temporary storage area. So this is called cookies. Browser cookies. Every browser will have their own cookies, and for every application they will have their own cookies. So that's the reason when you open any particular website, they will ask, allow the cookies to store those informations what you are looking for. That would be readily available for you. Via these cookies also, you can intrude, you can keep your malwares into the browsers. If you open that websites enough, so that the cookies will be downloaded into that. Okay. So apart from this one, you can save your usernames and password. This is from the browser. See, for example, the browsers will means as soon as you enter the username and password, it will ask you to, hey, save this one for your future reference. You'll click save. Means in the future, there is no need to do the login every time. Immediately you can go to this one. So as soon as you have been opened, because that saves that particular informations of yours. Okay, that is what the basic storage of this one.
Yes, Chris, sorry to interrupt. So when we log in Gmail, also it has save password. So this
Yes.
that also comes
Yes.
as a cookie.
No, so that stores into the browser things, and it depends upon the application. Some people will store their information into the cookies, but you know, right? So where these particular informations would be stored, settings. I think it is easy in this browser, right? See here, it will asking you for clear the browser data, clear the history, cookies, cache. What do you mean by cache memory? Cache memory.
Temporary memory.
So cache memory is also a temporary memory. What it will try to do is, for an example, I was searching for mobiles frequently. Now, when I have been requested from here, from the client, means my mission, it need to go to the server, and then from the server, it need to give me back the response. It is a big turnaround for this. So that temporary means whatever the temporary informations are there, so that will be stored here, so that when I requested for the mobiles, it will access for this, and from here itself, I'll get it. It will not go to the server itself. So there are now a lot of concepts are there, lazy loading and other means latest trends are there, but at least the basic things you need to understand. This is called as cache memory or cache memory. Cache memory is a temporary memory where it can store the information which is you frequently asked for. For the first time, it will go to the server and get it, and for the second time, it will be available in your cache memory itself. And when you clear this cache memory, it will be deleted back. All your cookies, cache, and then history would be deleted. Now, if you see here, now here we can have it. And you can have your passwords also here. It will show you what are the passwords. Where is that? We will be having it, right? So security, cookies, privacies, where we will have the passwords. That is browser option. That will be not taken care by the this one autofilling boys. To show launch format settings option. Pass autofills. If you see here, these are the things which I can have. So now these are the websites which I have it, and for this particular websites I can have my passwords. I can view these passwords. This is storing by This is storing by Chrome. And you can see it, 5 compromised passwords. Means my passwords are also known by someone else. 5 out of this particular passwords. So few passwords are already known by some people. You see it, all these passwords have been saved it, right? You can see. So these are the different websites. For this particular different websites, all the passwords are there. If I click on this eye icon, I can see my passwords. I need to enter the pin so that it can show me what is my password. So if all these particular, out of these all many passwords, my 5 passwords are compromised. Means someone hacked all my passwords already. This is from the browser level information. This is a Chrome setting, not cookie setting. But some people will store in the cookies previously, but that can be easily hacked. So that's the reason now none of the people are storing the passwords, usernames into the cookies. Previously it used to happen, but not now. Okay. So now what is the pointer which I wanted to talk about here is, when you're seeing here, your passwords are like this dots. Why can't it would be visible? That is what I told you, right? So they are trying to hide that particular data according to this particular bullet pointers. So now whatever the character which you entered, so the character would be encrypted with this particular dots. This is called encryption. Now if I wanted to see my password, then I'll click here and then I'll click here. If I click my pin number, I should be able to read that one. So this is called decryption, encryption of the password and decryption of the password. See, as soon as you entered into any particular applications, so that password would be encrypted. And when you wanted to read it into the normal language, it can be read it back. So then this is called decrypted. Encrypting your particular password, into unreadable mode. So then this is called encryption, and then this is called, when you wanted to retrieve it back and see it back, then it is called decryption. Now to do this particular encryption and decryption, you do have lot of techniques in the system. So that is called, means the most frequently used techniques are MD-SHA and then 256 encoder. So these are the techniques to encode your passwords. Okay, so what are the means different type of techniques we will be having to do the encryption and the decryption? So you can see there in this one, there are many algorithms in doing for this one. Okay, so what are those particular techniques? See, now this is if you wanted to do, so key would be holding by someone else, you know, right? So if you go for bank locker, so one key will be with you, another key will be with someone. If both keys will be kept there, then only the locker would be open. Same techniques would be used over here. Okay, so what are the different encryption techniques they have been given it? So they explained about the encryption technique here. What do you mean by encryption? Cryptography, this is one of the excellent topic which we it would be one of the most interesting thing in the security testing. Cryptography is nothing but hiding of the data behind the thing. Means you seen it, right? So if someone has been seen some movies, Arundhati movie or some movie, we can see a picture. The painting would be there, the picture would be there, behind the picture there would be some letters, means the information which we wanted to write some information.
Texture.
So it will be there. So now means cryptography, it's nothing but it's a communication of the data, or protecting or hiding your data from behind a image. And you know, when Laden has been collapsed, this twin building in US, so now he used this cryptography most advanced way. What he have been done is, he hidden the data behind a video. If you open, that would be a normal video. if you open a particular video, that would be like a normal video, but behind the video there is a message. With our naked eye we can't do it. See, now same way, so now if you are playing this particular video, we will not understand, hey, that's a basic normal video which we can see on it. But if you open this particular video, there they can decrypt the information behind from this particular videos itself. So I told you, right? So now they can have an encryption and the cipher keys. So according to this, they will be trying to do it, and then they'll be doing it. So this is the encryption and decryption techniques. And under this particular encryption and decryption techniques, we do have that MD SHA 256 encoder and this one. So I just wanted to show you what are the different type of. Here it was mostly talking about the encryption. What do you meant by encryption, and how the encryption can be. These are the best encryption algorithms. So now we will be they will be having some small key there. Always it generates the ID number, 6-digit token number. So they will be having that one. So now we have AES, so advanced encryption standards, triple DAS, so data encryption standards, so RSA tokens, public key, blown fish, two fish. So now these are the different type of techniques to do the encryption. How to do it and what is that particular things? If you go into this one, this will take lots and lots of time, and you need to understand lots of concepts from the networking. Then you can understand this. See, now it is very simple to show that how this encryption technique will work on. See, I accidentally saw your website browsing history. You and I are done. So this is a plain text. Now if you encrypted with a key, so now the text would look like this, and then you are sending to him, and receiver will have this information, and then he will have this key, right? Means it is just like something you are sending him a key, so that he can use that particular key, so that he can he use the description key, and then he can read it. So this is how the flow would happen. So this is called encryption and decryption process. Okay, for doing this particular encryption and decryption, so there are lot of techniques. So as part of that particular techniques, we will be doing this one. Okay, so it was showing this nowadays, means as that particular MD SHA. Apart from that one, so these are the latest and common. So now I told about, right, accept all cookies. So when I open this particular browser, they're asking me to accept all cookies. Okay, so we have to be, it is not all websites will not take any of informations, but it is not really required for them to do it. So what it will do is they will say that, hey, when have that lot of traffic, it will be very faster for you. It's okay, fine, but we don't want to keep all the things within us, right? So yeah, this is how these things would be there. And which technique which we need to use it, which technique is best? RSA technique is best, or AES technique is best, or triple DSC technique is best? So now if you see here we can do the total key length of 168 bits and 112 bits. Means if you see here in the previous diagram, we have been seen it, right? You seen it, right? Characters. These are the list of characters they were saying. 256 encoder means there would be 256 characters would be there. Are you wanted to 256 characters to encode? Means, for example, for a Q, there would be some default information would be there. For 96G, there would be some default information. So to means to decrypt this one, you should have key. Or if you wanted to decrypt this one into this particular normal English language, they need to use lot of algorithms, because it is very simple. If your password is 8-digit character, it is very easy to encrypt, right? If your password is 12-digit, if your password is 16-digit, see now what you are trying to do, you're trying to make it complex. See now what it was happening. So 8 probabilities are there if you are having your password. So now what if it is 8 characters, your password is 8 characters. Now for 8 characters, I'll be having it 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Now I can see the probability A to Z here, 1 to 0 to 1. this probability. Now all this one we have the same probability, and a combination of this one I'll write some code and then I'll check for these particular probabilities if it is 8-letter character. Now when it go for 12, by default the complexity increased, right? If you go for 16, it increased, right? Now 20, now 50, 60, now 256. See, now this is the key. This is a key, not the content. This is not the translation of this content. They use this encryption technique which it generated this key to encrypt this particular technique. So this particular key, it takes a lot of time because it's up to 256. And with a limited number also, they will do lot of most complicated keys they can generate it, so that it is very hard for us to decrypt that particular things. So those are the encryption techniques, and decryption means how to encrypt and how to decrypt that. So that is where there are a lot of techniques and algorithms are there. Which is best? It depends upon the organization. It depends upon the domains. It depends upon the data which you wanted to hide. So every company, every organization will choose what the things they wanted to do it. According to that, they will try to get and do it. Okay. So I told you, right? This is called steganography. Hiding the video behind, hiding the data behind a video is called steganography, and hiding the data behind an image, then that is called cryptography. So those are good olden days techniques. So previously, you know, right, the kings used to send the information from the messenger. They used to keep it in the eagle legs, so that the eagle will fly and then it will come and then it will pass that particular information to the people. So now previously the data used to travel like that. So nowadays, so if you send any information, anything, so if it is anything illegal to country or anything, immediately that can be scanned and you are under scan. There would be certain keywords, so that keywords will be identified. That's the reason the people will keep different informations on this. So they will not give the actual information, they will keep certain informations which is decoding informations for that. So now as part of that one, so this steganography and then this particular cryptography, everything comes into the picture, you understand. So steganography is a technology he has been used in 2008, right? So when it happened, the twin building collapse, it's 2011, right? So 2000, sorry, it's 2011. So at that point of time, so he has been used this steganography. Now you understand, 12 years it happened. So now how much more complicated and how much latest things will be having it. But that will not come into the normal world because the people might be misused. So that's the reason they will not give those informations. But when you go for that into the details of it, you can understand it. Okay, so any other questions? So that's the basic informations and the basic things which we wanted to discuss about the security testing. Any other questions? No
So,
questions?
excuse me, sir.
Yep.
We'll send, I mean, for confidential purpose, they'll send a empty mail, but inside that there'll be some message they are sending. What does it comes under?
Those all things are called phishing. They are
Phishing.
called as
Okay.
phishing.
Okay.
See,
Okay. Fine.
normally, if you are trying to fishing, we go for fishing, right?
Yes.
To
Yes.
catch
Yes.
the fishes.
Ha.
These people will call us fishing.
Yeah.
So they will catch us with this.
Okay.
If they send any mail, if you open that mail enough,
Hmm.
means that single click is enough for them to get those informations. The mail would be empty, nothing. And if they are attached any particular thing, so they will say that your important credit card information or very important letter, you know, right? One message.
Hmm.
This attack was one of the famous attack. This guy has been sent this one. This is a virus. What he have done is he just sent that a mail for everyone saying that I love you. And if someone opened this particular message, they are gone. So this is a malware which intruded into the systems. And from that intruder system, if they wanted to, if they send any mails to anyone else, any mail, if they open via that mail, they will be going to this. And this is a very popular attack in 1999. So
Thank
this
you,
is
sir.
this information at this particular mail, nothing, it will not have anything. It have only just saying that I love you message, that's it. If they open that particular message, that mail, because that would be, we will be very curious to open that, right? So that's where the curiosity of the people always matters. They will go through your Facebooks on what you are passionate about, what you are interested about. So what if you're foodie, you will be always posting the Facebook into the foodie things. Then what they will send you is, hey, there would be is a food competition for you, or top 5 cheesy foods which you can like. Immediately we will, it will grab our attention and we will click the mail. So be
No,
cautious. So with those particular things.
no, sir. Means like Pakistani terrorists will send from our country to other. I mean, their country sending empty mails, but in the inside that there'll be some coded language for their country, right? That
Hmm.
also comes under phishing, sir.
Those are means those are the cryptographies, right?
Okay,
So the data, the hiding of the data behind something, if it is there, then that is called as a cryptography.
okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. So any other questions or any other pointers?
Yeah, sir, I have a doubt.
Mhm.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead.
So there is a term called two-factor authentication. That,
Hmm.
does that comes under encryption or any other thing?
Oh, two-factor authentication is from the security testing only. See, we
Okay.
implemented this two-factor authentication from long back. Okay, what do you meant by two-factor authentication? It is very simple. We are every day using it. For an example, now we are logging into your ICICI bank. You entered your username, password, and second time it will ask you to enter your OTP. It will send an OTP, so that you will enter the OTP. Means first authentication is with your password, second authentication is with your OTP. Then this is called two-factor authentication.
Okay.
To make it more sophisticated, nowadays what the people are doing is, they're not even asking you to store your passwords. What they are trying to do is, they are trying to send you the OTPs. So enter your mobile number, enter your OTP, so that it can log in into your system. Previously you need to enter username and password. Nowadays it was going with your mobile number and then OTP. And after that one, see, some applications are there. For example, if you are using the Microsoft Authenticator, it will generate you a key, OTP plus key generated default every 10 seconds or every 1 minute. The life of that particular key would be there. You need to enter that key also, because at least your mobile phone OTP can be hacked. Because if I hack your mobile phone, I can get your OTPs. But that Microsoft key, every time it randomly generates that 6-digit number, that will be not identified by the hackers. So that they will take the OTP and this one. So they will call this one as a two-factor authentication. Anything, the name itself, it is saying that authentication, two-factor authentication means to authenticate you. It was giving you 2 steps to authenticate, to make sure that you are the right person to means entering into the system. That is called two-factor authentication.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, so by this we have been completed the different categories of testing. So if you see here, we have been discussed from the different layers of testing we have been discussed. So what are the most frequently used testings in the unit testing, and then in the API or in the background or the backend logics, or from the UI layer and the ETL or DB layer, or from the performance layer or the security layer. So what we have done is, we taken the different layers, and each different layer, so we have been taken with the different type of testings, and then we have been, what are the different type of testings can perform in that particular layers, we have been discussed on this. So this is the topics which we have been completed for today by this particular week. And then what are the things we wanted to go to here? So here we wanted to discuss about TCLC, which is a test case lifecycle. So means what is a test case and how to write the test cases. I think you guys has been practiced very well, right? So now what I wanted to do is, so I'll get started with the TCLC, because as part of life cycles, I wanted to talk on this one. And then I'll talk about the bug life cycle, and then I'll go for the test plans. So just a quick recaps on this one tomorrow, and then I'll just go for the test plan and then test estimations. So these are the topics which it is majorly need to be covered. And then we do have RTM and severity, priority. So that anyways, I'll try to cover as part of bug life cycle, and RTM and other set of topics, the test case techniques and all. So test case techniques I'll try to involve here, and severity, priority I'll be involving here. So these topics we will in detail we will discuss from tomorrow. And as I told you, we are not here to complete the course and then send you people out. That's not our intention. Our intention is very clear that whatever the topics which we taken, so it should be clearly, and means we should deliver these things as much as possible to you, and it should be clearly understand by you. That would be our intention. So if it is getting taking time, so that is not our intention to complete this course and then get some other people in. That is not at all our intention, as you know it. So always we will make sure that whatever the content we are trying to deliver, so that should be clearly understand by the people. So we targeted to start the from the next week. If it is not possible, even we will go ahead with the manual testing itself. We will complete each and every topic, and then only we will go for the Java concepts. Okay. So I'm just trying to close the session a little bit earlier, because nothing pointers we